what was Eazy-E like as a person? He always seems,
joking,
from the outside looking in.
Constantly joking. Super jokes. Nothing but jokes all day. All about Vince. All about CPO. It was him and Dre that said, it was the three of us one day sitting in the studio. And I'm sitting there, because I used to love to watch Dre just do his thing. I would just sit behind Dre and watch him on the boards, because when Dre is, in the middle of his mixing or whatever and twisting this and turning that and, turning the fader up over here, he's really in a zone. And I'm watching him do that. He turns around, looks at me and says, go in there and get you some pub. What? Go in there and get on the song. Go in there and get on the song. So Eazy walks in and says, yeah, go in there and get something. So I'm in there, and so they say this, and Eazy says, call yourself Mr. Big Draws. Call myself Mr. Big. Okay.
Yeah.
Then they're busting up laughing. I'm like, so, but I mean, Eazy was extremely cool, very cool. Came through one night, probably about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and took me to meet his parents, because I had never met his parents. And his parents lived maybe about 2 blocks from me. And I said, well, man, maybe we shouldn't go over there this time in the morning. They're probably asleep. And he said, no, dude, they're up. They know I'm coming. And I met them, and he and I and them sat down and watched he had the first draft of the Appetite for Destruction video. So we watched that, got up, sat at the table, and all talked. And beautiful people, extremely cool people. And, the thing about Eazy was he was extremely hospitable.
We actually met him through LA Dream Team, through Rudy Pardee. Because when we first signed the deal, we signed with Dream Team Records. And he introduced us to Eric, and then we ended up signing to Eric, to Eazy-E's label. And everything took off from there.
Oh. And weren't you guys, didn't you guys go gold and platinum and whatnot before N.W.A. even put out a record?
Yes, we did. We actually helped open the doors for Ruthless, because nobody knew of Ruthless until J.J. Fad did Supersonic and got the song on the charts. And then they opened the door for N.W.A. and Eazy-E.
Wow. So you guys really kicked it off.
We did.
That's amazing. And when you guys would go to different, after N.W.A. blew up and whatnot, and you guys would go do shows, and for the people that were familiar with N.W.A. but weren't really familiar with you, what was their reaction when you would get on stage and do Supersonic? Would they get into it as much as they get into Boys in the Hood or Fuck the Police or something like that?
Definitely they did. Definitely, because like I said, we were known before they were known. So when we did do shows, we did tours with them actually. So it was perfect. We had all different crowds. So even gangsters boogie.
Yeah, there you go. Speaking of legends, obviously Eazy-E, one of the biggest legends the game has ever seen. Without him, many things would not be possible. What was your relationship like with Eazy? Can you tell us about how he was as a person and as a friend to you?
It's so funny because you can get caught up in this business and saying that people are your friends, not realizing that you may have one or two. And just because you're hanging out with, 15 or 20. Eazy was somebody that I really would call a friend. Some of the things that we shared, and I could name you probably 500 people that would honestly say that Eazy was a friend, because Eazy had this thing. He was just subtle. He had this little character thing. I remember when I was going through a divorce, and Eazy comes over. And he starts laughing at me, and I'm like, I'm sitting there crying, and Eazy, I don't know, can we curse on this show?
Yeah, you can say motherfuck, shit, whatever the 7 words George Carlin said, you can say them all.
So Eazy comes in laughing at me, and he's like, man, what the fuck are you doing crying over a bitch? Man, get the fuck out. So many bitches out here. What are you doing crying over a bitch, man? I'm like, but I love her Eazy, and Eazy like, man, hold on. And he got like some girl on. I'm over here with Greg Mack. He's over here crying. His wife left him. Let's go cheer him up. And so he, me and him and a couple of girls, we went out and partied. And Eazy gave me, I think it was like $10,000 or something.
Wow.
And I wasn't working in a programming position. I want to make that clear. It wasn't payola. He just said, man, I want you to take this and just go get you something, man. Get your mind off that shit. If I see you crying again, I don't even want to be your friend no more. He just thought that was terrible, that any man would cry over a woman with all these women out there. And that was just the kind of guy he was with everybody. He was not what you thought. He would always do things helping kids in the community, getting buses, taking them to Magic Mountain, buying them clothes, paying bills, but he would never talk about it. He was always doing stuff like that. But at the same time, I've also seen him, where a man was beating his wife, and I said, Eazy, let's go, help these people. And Eazy starts laughing again, and he's like, beat her ass, let them fight. And I'm sitting here like, whoa. And so Eazy was also on the edge, He just had many different sides to him, but knowing him like I know him, I know that the one thing that fascinated him the most in life was when he got to go to the President Bush dinner. That really fascinated him. It intrigued him a lot.
And speaking of your relationship with Eazy, you worked with him on the radio show, correct?
Well, what had happened with that was, and I want to correct the record on that because there's so many things being said, documentaries, and blah blah blah. Eazy and I he was going to be the first rapper to ever buy a radio station, so we were working on that. We had set up a company. All he was doing, he was waiting until he put out Bone Thugs and Harmony. And he says, Greg, once we put that out, I want to have everything ready, and let's go get the station. We were getting ready to buy a radio station in Phoenix, Arizona. And so I said, well, Eazy, you know what? While we're putting all this together, I said, let's go do a radio show, man. Let's just do a radio show. And he's like, well, what do you mean? I said, I don't know. Let's just figure it out, and let's go do something. And so anyway, I went and talked with a friend of mine who was working at the Beat at that time. And I said, hey, dude, set us up a meeting with the PD over there, and let's go see if we can get a show going. So we went over and talked to him, and I told him I said, we just want to do a show. We want to highlight some music that Ruthless is coming out. Me and Eazy will host it, and we're going to get a couple of DJs to mix. And so they were like, oh, okay, well, why don't y'all keep putting it together and then get back to us? And so we went and got some DJs. I went and asked my DJs that used to work for me, Tony G and Julio G. And so they just simply said, man, after K-Day, we just kind of tired of radio. We just want to focus on our, our music thing. And I said, come on, man, we just want to focus on our music. And I said, look, here's what we'll do. I said, Eazy, sign them up to start producing some stuff. And so, therefore, you are able to still do your music, which he did. And then you guys come and mix for us. And so that's how it happened. So we all started doing the show. And we decided we were going to call it the Ruthless Radio Show. After the first show, the program director of the station came to me and he said, Greg, we love the show. We want to continue doing the show, but we don't want you on the show. And I said, you don't want me on the show? And they said, well, you don't sound street enough. You sound a bit too white. We want that street sound. And so I said, you mean like saying yo, 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 like that? I said, yeah, I guess today is hard for me to do. And so Eazy told them point blank, he said, look, if Greg's not on the show, we're just not going to do the show. And so I pulled Eazy aside and I said, look here, man, go ahead and do the show. It's not that serious. I'm not dying to be back on the radio. So just go do the show. And so Anyway, the show continued, and that's how the show got started.
Lately, you know, N.W.A. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, straight out of Compton, blew up. What's it like to see your homie getting these props and accolades, you know what I'm saying, over 20 years after his death?
It shows you that no matter what kind of hype or bull or F the police or the FBI propaganda of it or all that, that music surpasses all that. And music, in the end, what you did in the end with your music and what you did, that's what I guess is starting to show that really counts in the long run, bro. And man, to see E do that, I know he's shining on us, looking down on us, saying, "Wow, man, you know, I really see you guys see Pac. Look, Pac, look at it. Look at how they're honoring us now, man. They showing us love, bro." And,
right.
and I knew it was gonna happen, bro. I knew it. I knew it in the long run. People were gonna do it, and even to say that right now.
Hey, it's Flo, and this is my impression of a tech-savvy...
I got to ask you this question, because Lazy Bone addressed it, and a lot of people addressed it. Even Suge Knight made references to it on the Kimmel show.
Whether somebody gave it to him or not.
Yeah, do you think Eazy-E was injected with AIDS?
I'm going to save that for the book.
You're going to save that for the book, so... Okay, so it might be a possibility. Because the thing, I mean, I won't go too much into it because I know you want to save it for the book, but it's crazy how dude went from being, you know, healthy to sick to passing away, like in what was it, like a month? Yeah. What was the time frame?
I would say a few weeks, a couple of weeks. Yeah, he was in one hospital, then he went to another one. Yeah, within about 3 weeks, he was gone. Oh, yeah.
And prior to that, he was pretty well healthy?
What I seen of him, he was.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it. Nobody else got it.
Yeah, nobody. That's the thing. None of his kids. Any of the women? Any of the women?
Nobody. Nobody.
That is crazy. I would like to say this, you know, I mean, if you have AIDS, it doesn't necessarily mean you will pass it on to people. Yeah. But for him not to pass it on to anybody, for none of the women not to get it, not to get it to any of the kids, it does look like a conspiracy to me.
I never know.
You know, and if that's the case, that's fucked up because whoever did that robbed his family, his friends like yourself, fans like myself. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully karma is a bitch, and they'll get what's coming to them.
Oh yeah.
Do you have, if you had any speculation? I mean, you don't have to mention names. Do you have any speculations in your mind of who could have possibly done that?
I don't know. I'd put it like this: money was the rule of all evil. I'll leave that statement.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, I know one person. It wasn't the wife. That's for sure.
It wasn't the wife.
No.
Okay.
Ain't no
way.
That
we had we had somebody on the show prior to you that kind of suggested it was. Didn't come out and say so. So you're saying it wasn't the wife.
Yeah. Bigger entities involved.
Bigger entities. Could these be possibly the same entities that had something to do with Tupac's flame?
I don't know. That I don't know. That I don't know. That was a totally different kind of thing. You know?
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, over 8 years, you know, with the kind of success that we had, that to have two mistakes, of course, but they were big mistakes, Dre leaving, and one day I came in the office, and Mike Klein, who was the Mossad guy, whose wedding, his daughter's wedding I'm going to tomorrow night, but I came in the office, and he and Eazy were talking, and I said, what's going on here? And Eazy said, you know this guy Suge Knight? I said, yeah. He says, well, I'm going to kill him. He said, this guy's going to be a problem. and I think I should kill him. And
wow.
I said, let me think this. I said, let me think this thing through. I said, first of all, we're doing $10 million a month with 6 employees. We don't even have a typewriter in the office. I said, we're the most successful startup record company in the history of the music business. And you want to kill this guy? I said, that just doesn't make any sense to me. And you know something? I should have let him kill him.
Yeah.
You know, I would have done the world a favor. He would have done it for sure, by himself. You know, he always rolled by himself, and he was fearless. That's why
he packed heat too, right?
Always.
Do you think he would have killed Suge Knight?
I think so. I think that he was going to go do it. I took him seriously.
And how did you stop him? I mean, how did you convince him?
I talked sense to him because he did listen to me, and I was always very logical. So logic always worked with Eazy. He was a logical guy himself. He was very emotional, but he was always logical. And then we talked about what would happen if he was, you know, if they ever held him hostage or if they threatened to kill him. You know, we had discussed all those eventualities because nothing was out of the question when it came to the people that we were dealing with.